Who in here is a new agent? Are you new? What business have you been in before?
I'm still in police work.
Police work, okay. Well, you can talk to people and relate to them and kind of figure them out, and you've had training in that. So. Staging is the subject today, and I don't know if I do it like anybody else, but some of this is real basic. The main thing that new agents, not this particular new agent, but most of us have to deal with when we're new, is that we walk into someone's house and we don't know them and they don't know us, and we immediately realize the house is going to be hard to show, it doesn't look good, it doesn't smell good, it's pets, and we don't want to upset anybody, and we're not sure how to jump in. We want the listing no matter what, but chances of it selling are slim. I mean, it can be full of smoke, and so we have to sit down right off the bat with a perfect stranger and figure out some way to ease into telling them what they have to do to get their house sold. On the other hand, there's some people that say, I don't care, it's going to sell, I'll just put it on the market. And sometimes it does sell, just like it is. But across the board, chances are there's certain things they have to do to get the house to sell. And the fact of the matter is, or at least in my experience, if you put a house on the market and it is not ready to show, it's not ready for people to see it, the most people out there that are looking are right at first, and they run and look at it and they never come back. That first impression cannot be changed. It's in my experience. I don't know if anybody else has a different one, but if you call them up and say, oh, we got rid of the cat and we sprayed and we did this and that, I don't care, I'm never going back in that house. Because they never forget that. I had a situation one time. Hunts are so funny. I mean, people take everything so personally, but we had a home inspection, and it was my listing, and the seller had gone out of town. She'd actually left town and just pretty much abandoned the house, I guess, or whatever, got mad. But we had the house under contract, and she just figured it was a done deal. She left town, left food in her refrigerator, didn't pay her power bill, and I didn't know in 100-degree weather that the food inside had spoiled. And you should have smelled that house. And it was awful. And those people did not buy that house because of that. And the home inspection had really nothing on it. Just they smelled rotten fish. Everything had spoiled in the freezer, and they didn't buy the house. They would never go back in that house. So anyway, some basic things on staging. Remove personal items as much as possible, because the thing about a house that's that I've learned over many, many years is when someone is going into an existing home, it belongs to somebody else, and they feel a little bit like they're trespassing. And there's a certain thing that has to take place. It's very subtle, it's psychological. I've seen it happen. I still get cold chills sometimes when it happens, but they actually make a mental transition from it being someone else's house that they're trespassing into to their home. And they do not buy that. I've never seen anybody buy it unless I hear them make that transition and feel them make that transition as a buyer's agent. It's real hard for buyers to do that if it's full of awards for soccer, it's full of kids' things on the refrigerator, it's full of family pictures, it's full of all kind of books that have nothing to do with these people, just all that kind of thing. 3 cat bowls, I mean, all of that. You know, it makes it harder for the buyers to transition into seeing them living in that house. When they're able to walk in and it's more like a model home, it's nice, it's comfortable, it's welcoming, but it's sort of impersonal. They can, when the buyers start to say, oh, we can put grandmother's corner cabinet here. Oh, we have this can go there. Oh, our bed. When they start doing that, they are mentally moving into a home. Has anybody experienced that? Mm-hmm. I mean, you know. Is anybody new that hasn't had that happen yet? Well, when it happens, you remember me telling you because it's real obvious. I mean, I've never sold a house that it didn't happen as a buyer's agent. But you don't want to get in the way of it happening. Some sellers want to be there and point out every little thing that gets in the way. They get that trespassing feeling. My way of showing a house is probably, I used to do every little thing, and now I just kind of let, I say, well, if you want me to walk around with you, and I do watch them, I let them just go loose, but if you want me to explain what this closet is, these are shelves, I will do that. But if you want to just absorb the house, they always say they want to look at it and get a sense of it, because it's just something you don't want to interfere with. I can't stress that too strongly. You don't want to get in the way of it. Sellers think you're not doing your job if you don't do it like the TV. Oh, here's the pantry, here's 5 shelves, here's, you know, all that. But really, it just causes a problem. Some things that are good to keep in mind. If someone has an older home and they want to make a few improvements, you might, in their appliances, the kitchen are old or the kitchen looks real old, you might want to tell them to replace the appliances with new stainless appliances. They're on sale usually, a package deal. That really helps the kitchen. You might want to get new countertops. Granted, it's not real expensive anymore. It used to be, but it's not that much anymore, if you know the right people to call. Bookshelves. Bookshelves are nice to have, but most of the time they're overflowing, so those need to be cleaned out, and just books that are the same color, or, you know, just look nice, like you would see in a model home or a furniture store. And just try to keep the accessories blending in with the house, improving the look of the room and not taking away from it. Curb appeal is very important. You know, mow, edge, new pine straw, new plants, pretty flowers, things in bloom, paint the front, whatever you have to do, so that when somebody comes up, that first impression is good. You can't go back and make it good after the first time. You just get one chance. You know, people want to put their house on the market and work on it as time goes by, but that's a big mistake. You might have a home that's decorator colors, and actually it's sort of starting to resurface again. We're starting to see that in some of the design magazines. And as a real estate agent, you should keep up with the latest things. Buy the decorating magazines. Even then, you need to know that. You need to know if things are headed towards more neutral or going back to bright colors or whatever. Keep abreast of that. You will have clients that don't know what's going on, or they do, or they're way ahead of you. And they all expect us to be interior designers. They really do. They think we know it all, even if we don't know anything. But you can find out. Go online. Go to Barnes & Noble and sit down and look through all the latest magazines. You don't have to buy them. I'm sure they don't want me saying that, but that's what I've gotten, so I do. This is an example. This is a house I have listed. Someone else had it listed before me. And I walked in, and this picture is duller than the actual, I printed these on my home. This is duller than the actual dining room, but the dining room walls were purple, dark and purple, real purple, bright purple. And that's the actual photograph that I had when I first listed the house. And I got up my courage and I said, you really need to paint that particular wall, those walls in that room, a neutral color. I gave her a painter's name that I use all the time. It's very reasonable. And this is, I have a super duper camera that takes kind of glowing pictures. I don't know how it does it, but if it breaks, I'm lost. But anyway, she did paint the room, and that's the color now. It's really just beige. It looks brighter than it is, but it looks much, much better. This was dark and gloomy, and this is welcoming. That runner, by the way, is the same color as the same thing. It's just my camera picked it up real good. The other thing is, buyers are confused if they go in a house. Well, I would say, I used to think it was 80% or 90%. Now I think it's 99% of people that go in homes, see what's there, they can't imagine anything else. Nothing. I mean, you think everybody has all these ideas. I don't think they do. I think they walk in, they see what's in front of them, that's it. I've had them go in a 4-bedroom house, and the feedback was it didn't have enough bedrooms. And for the price, it was a lot of more bedrooms than anything else in the neighborhood. But one bedroom was set up as an office. It never clicked that it was a bedroom to them. So if you can have the rooms, I mean, maybe somebody needs an office more than a bedroom, so that might make a difference. But as a rule, they need the bedrooms. So if you get feedback that says they need more bedrooms, you have to kind of think, well, they might not even realize that office is actually a bedroom, has a closet, it was built as a bedroom. And I just sold one of my listings from doing that. I said, did you realize that downstairs office is actually a bedroom? Oh, no, we didn't know that. That's the realtor and the buyers. They just see what's in front of them, and that's it. And I think the more you realize that, the more you can work around those kind of situations. Unpleasant pet odors, that's a real big problem. It's real hard to tell people in a nice way that they need to do something about that. It's real hard to fix. Sometimes you just have to redo the carpet and all that. I mean, but it's, and smoke, both of those things will stop a house from being sold. Unless it's a heavy smoker pet owner that lives with a household, which they aren't that many anymore, and no smokers really. I have listed homes in the past, or started to list a house that was so full of just junk. I mean, baby clothes piled up and dishes and things that nobody could use, and it just looked like a hoarder, all the way to being a hoarder house. And I actually, one time, had to hire somebody to help because the husband had already relocated. The wife just couldn't do it. She just was overwhelmed. And sometimes you have to help people get past all that. And I hired somebody to help. And I also bought these. It sounds so simple, but this person could not do it herself. I bought these gigantic plastic bins. I guess I bought about 10 of them for a big house. And I said, look, we're going to put these bins in the middle of these rooms, and everything loose, put in the bin, in the rooms. And you know, that's what they did. I don't care what it was, they just put it in the bin. I said, then you take out one thing, and if you have a place to put it that'll look nice, you can put it, otherwise it has to go in storage or get rid of it. And that's how they had to do that house. And I had to be real firm about that. And it worked. But she could not get organized. And the house did sell. It took about 3 months to go through everything. So, at least they did it. But the thing about the big bins was it enabled her to get everything off of the beds and the countertops and the dressers, and then you could see what she had to work on, and she could do it piece by piece. In real estate, sometimes you have to think on your feet, and there are not any rules that work every single time. That's the only time I've had to do that, but I actually have to do that with myself sometimes. It's just so much. I say, okay, we're going to start over from scratch. Oh, it looks so nice, but what's all this stuff? So anyway. If people are, if they don't have garage space or they don't know what to do, just tell them to rent a storage bin or storage building someplace and put everything in there, box it up, put it in there. Not hard, it's not expensive. People do it all the time. Because people do get overwhelmed and they don't know what to do. And you just say, that's what we do, that's what I do. Because it's true, that's what I do. Here's some just ideas I just got off the internet yesterday in thinking about what to talk to you about, and I've done a lot of these things myself. If somebody has a house that is dated, sometimes it will have a dark brick fireplace, and the rooms it's just kind of outdated, that sort of thing, those beams. If it looks good, that's fine. If it doesn't look good, they can paint the beams, they can paint those old paneling that doesn't look good, and they don't actually have to paint the fireplace so much as maybe put a white, like just brushed, kind of wipe it on there and make it look kind of antique, and at least it's not just heavy and dark. And I've seen that look good. If there's an old fireplace screen that's rusted, you can undo it, take it outside, spray paint it, make it look fresh. You can actually clean out the fireplace, scrub, and they have spray paint that you can make the fireplace bricks look new or shiny. And if it's a prefab fireplace, sometimes those old worn panels just come out and you can get a new one that you put right in. So, just little things. And people, they welcome you telling them what they can do to make the house look more like a new home. One thing I do, I've done it quite a bit, I don't know if I should do it because I'm not sure what it does to the floors, but if you have worn hardwood floors that are worn in a certain area, but everything else looks fine, I've taken some matching stain and just kind of rub it on there and hope for the best. But it usually just, nobody notices it. I've done that. I have several rental houses, and between tenants I'll just touch it up. And I hope if they ever have to refinish it, it's not like darker there. So anyway, it looks good for a while until I get it rented or sold. Other things I've done. In the front, if you have iron handrails and they're worn, try to get the homeowner to spray paint those black. If they won't do it, I've had some people say, I'm not doing a thing, and they don't live there. Well, I went out there and did it. So I have scrubbed off myself. Absentee owners are kind of hard to deal with. You know, sometimes I'm not spending a penny on getting this house ready. Well, if the front doesn't look good, I've done it myself. I've paid for it. I've done it myself. Physical labor. And sold the houses for a lot of money. And I would do it again right now. do what you have to do. All right, these are some rooms I want to show you. This is a house I had listed. It closed. We had it listed last year. We put it on the market. It was beautiful. Some of you saw it on Caravan. I thought this would be an interesting thing to show you. It's a friend of mine. She is a real estate agent. She's an art therapy teacher. And this is her living room, and it was beautiful. But it was colorful, and it was full of big furniture and beautiful paintings, and I loved it. But I told her it was pretty full, and then the feedback from the Caravan was that she needed to remove some of the artwork and take out some of the furniture because she couldn't see the house. And so I gave her all the feedback, and we talked about it, and she agreed. So this is another picture that shows you. These are actual pictures in MLS that were the first listing, the first time I had it listed, which was back in the fall, which was not the good selling season. Then she moved the furniture around a little bit, took out some, and made it look a little better. This is what she already had. And then we put it back on the market in the spring, and she got serious, and she got rid of all the red furniture and all that, and this is what it looked like. It's real open, real neutral, look huge in comparison. This is so dramatically different, it is unbelievable. And the house sold to the first people that looked at it. I can't say anymore, I mean, it's the way it was. This is how the kitchen looked at. It was real open before it was all clogged up with stuff. And remember, the couch was like there, and now it's not. So it just looks like a different house. This was her dining room before. Like I say, I loved it. It looked like an art gallery. And this was after. Just looked a lot bigger. Didn't like the tablecloth, but I like the table bigger. But anyway, just looked a lot bigger. This was the bedroom before, which I don't have the same angle, but you kind of get the idea of what it looked like. It was pretty. And this was after she neutralized it, which was her same furniture, and she just took all the busy stuff out. And this is her child's room before the first listing. Just a child's room. And then when she decluttered and everything, this was after. Went into trouble getting these printed for y'all because they are dramatic. I think they're dramatic. And this was another after one. It's just real clean and looking. And the other thing I wanted to show you is if you have, I used to have a lot of listings for new home construction. They were just bare, they weren't furnished. And I have furnished rentals and guests that come and my sister does the same thing. And so we're always finding things and working on our properties to make them look welcoming and comfortable and southern and beach, you know, all that stuff. And people seem to really appreciate it and they like it. And my cleaning people say, why are your houses always left so nice? I say, well, they look like homes, they look comfortable, they look like, you know, like grandmother's house or something. But anyway, I just feel like that it sets a mood in the people. It doesn't look like a hotel or something. But I just want to show you one thing I've done since I was a new agent, and I didn't even know what I was doing, and I've just kind of always done this. If I have an empty house, I look around, my house has a lot of extra stuff, and I go by what the mood of the house is and what I think, who I think might buy the house or might be attracted to it. And this is actually stuff I just went over and got out of one of my listings. It was vacant, it's closing tomorrow, and so I had to go anyway to get my little doodads out. It was a young single lady owned it. It's a little townhouse, and I thought probably the best market buyer for it would be another young single lady. And so I kind of, what I call, fluffed it up a little bit, so I'll show you what I did. I'm sure it's dusty, but just grabbed it and grabbed this stuff. All right, this is something I had, it's falling apart, I just had in my house, and I just stuck this up against the wall, so it's kind of beachy. This is something I just picked up. I think I spent $60 on odds and ends for this house. I put that on the kitchen counter. The master bathroom was completely cold, and I put this so that people could feel like they were stepping on something soft and like a beach sand. A minute ago, I was just so stupid.
Oh,
Honestly, it's so important.
you gotta have frilly stuff.
You gotta have a little bit.
Y'all just do it better.
The other bathrooms had these little candles with these little things sitting around. Just kind of like that. I think I have those shells at my house. I think I had this somewhere. Stuck that on the kitchen counter. There's another bathroom. I had this. This was some little shells I put on the kitchen counter because the kitchen was very, very bland. And that's it. And it just gave the whole place, I mean, I picked it up in photographs, you know, like when you photograph the bathroom, here's a little ocean-y thing. And that's all I did. And I can't tell you how many houses I go in, and they're dusty, dirty, full of cobwebs. Especially in the past, for some reason, but mirrors in the bathrooms are just all dirty. Not one interesting thing sitting around. And it's just easy to do. And I think it will help your clients and help you get sales. Does anybody have any questions?
Who do you call for cleaning? I'm kind of new to the area here, so.
It's hard to get people that will clean one time. I use Majestic Cleaning, but they do all my cleaning, and they do deep cleaning for preparing properties to sell for me in between tenants, but I don't know if they do it for everybody. But if you find somebody that does, that you can just send an email and let them know what to do, and you kind of know what they charge. It's just great. The other thing is to find a yard service that will do that, just a one-time, getting things ready. I've been using a pine straw company that is great. I saw them around town. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this. I use Valentine. Does anybody use Valentine? Pine straw. I saw them in Brickyard. I saw them in Dudes West. They have a nice big truck, and they're all scurried around, and they do beautiful work. And I said, what do you charge to do this? They said, something like $5 a bale placed, and it's beautiful, big pine straw. I said, oh, I'm saving your name. I took a photograph of the truck, and they just do great work, and they'll come out, and they're so happy, and they just make a yard look wonderful. So I use them. I have a painter that's very reasonable. Pretty much have everybody that does everything. So, but that's just something over time you build up, people that you can call and trust and all.
Do you have any suggestions for people that don't? I have a guy, one guy, because I'm doing this, but his house is slam full of things. Like they've got a record collection, it's huge, takes up an entire room. Guns everywhere. I'm trying to figure out. I've subtly said like it needs to go, but I don't know how else to say it. It's got to go. It looks bad.
Well, records are hard because they should be in the heat. The records.
Right. Yeah. The big ones.
Climate control?
You'd have to have climate control or
Yeah.
something.
But I feel like, the problem I'm having is when you subtly say like, you really should put that somewhere in storage maybe, and no, we're not gonna move them,
Yeah, that happens.
you know?
You shouldn't have guns out at all.
He wants to sell all that stuff?
That is to sell a house.
Oh, but just to move his guns.
Yeah.
You could check Coastal Firearms and went store them for him.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I think it looks like a gun store, it looks pretty bad.
It's real hard to sell properties that are like that.
Yeah.
And just see, he might not realize, what it took me a long time to realize, that people don't see past it. They just don't. I would say almost all of them don't see but what's in front of them, that's it. Even people that you would think would know better, even real estate agents, they can't, I've seen people that redo houses that sometimes they can't see but what's in front of them. I'm like that sometimes.
Well, I was selling a house one time years ago, and I had one of the spare bedrooms was just like it was like a guy room. So I had my guy stuff. And when the realtor said, I think all this should not be here, I was like blown away, like, are you kidding? It's no big deal.
Right.
But then once I pulled it out of the room, I was blown away at how I forgot how the big the room was with all that stuff, you know what I mean? So I get it completely.
Yes. But the guy room, I think it's okay to have it sort of that way, just as long as it's not full, because a lot of men are looking for that.
Yeah.
And there again, they might not think of it as being,
Right.
it's okay.
Is there a professional staging company that one would use?
You know, I've never used them. I just sold a house, it's closing, day after tomorrow, and it was staged by somebody. It's out in Brickyard, and it did probably sell that house. It was very nicely done. I'm not sure who did it, but every room was staged. It had real up-to-date furniture, not a lot of accessories, but it was very understated, young, youthful, just like you see in magazines. Even the home inspector said, I don't know who staged this house, but it's beautifully done. So,
I think
yeah.
I think it's a hard sell because some people will pay for that.
What would it
It's not
cost?
cheap.
You have any
It's not,
idea?
I called someone recently and it wasn't cheap. It was like over $2,000 a month or something.
Right.
And that place was only 1,800 square feet. So it's not cheap. And so there was no way I was willing to pay for it.
I have, you know, once in a while I have put a few things out in the living room just to make it look welcoming. I haven't actually done a whole house. I don't think it's necessary, but I was pretty impressed with this other one. But you know, I didn't ask the agent who staged it, but there were no clothes in the closet, and it definitely was staged. But I was surprised it was every single room. Pictures on the walls, but it was very well done. But I can't believe, for the price that house sold for, I can't believe that somebody spent that much money. And like I said, I don't really think it's necessary. They could have probably done the same job with the living room, this one little area, maybe the dining room. Everybody knows what bedrooms look like.
Okay, thank you, Susan, very much.
I guess I really didn't talk about